I think the first thing that comes to mind is that the church is relatively new there. And so you're still, in some ways, I think you're still working through some kinks. You know what I mean? You'll find even people who are like bishops and things who are still kind of learning, still figuring things out. That's not common or anything. There are like some second, third generation members, but not too many. But as a result, I think there's a lot of humility in the church. I think that's mostly what that leads to, because you can tell that they love their missionaries. Whereas I feel like in America, the missionaries are they are, I'm not sure what a good way to put this is. They're sort of, they're tools, you know, we do utilize them. They're teaching the gospel and we give them referrals and everything. But in Japan, like, the missionaries are sort of the connection to the rest of the church almost. So they do trust you. They want you to be around. They love you in their meetings, you know, and every single ward or branch for the most part has a pair of missionaries assigned to them at a given time. But the people there are very eager to learn and continue to kind of strengthen their knowledge about the gospel. I do respect that they have a certain sense of reverence. I think that the culture of sort of conforming and not being obtrusive to others applies in church. Their kids are very well behaved compared to most American kids, you know. Yeah, I'd say that's about all I can think of. It wasn't a different experience. It was a different experience. You know, they kind of incorporate some of their own culture into aspects of church. For example, I think most missionaries kind of got a kick out of this. Whenever somebody would go up to the pulpit to pray, well, not all the time, but oftentimes they would actually announce that they're going to pray. Like, if you were to say it in English, they walked up to the pulpit, they got in front of the microphone, they said, "I'm going to pray." And then they folded their arms and would start praying, which is something we wouldn't do here, right? But for some reason or another, it was normal there. And sometimes we'd kind of tease them. Like, when we were doing it in English, we'd just be like, "I'm going to pray," and then start praying. But there's just different little things like that sort of get incorporated in. But yeah, I'd say overall, I did appreciate sort of the humble factor in the church there. I feel that they were good with that.